Yo, what's going on, guys? This is BrendanMushi, and today we're doing a trailer breakdown and analysis for Guilty Gear Strive. Trailer just dropped for Millia and my boy Zato. So we got the two Oki characters, our first look at actual Okizeme mix-up characters in a game that I guess everyone thought Oki was dead, right? Like we thought, there's no hard knockdowns in this game, there's no mix, but clearly that's not the case based on the trailer. I'm just saying. And so as this is my primary archetype, my home, Okizeme characters, mix-up characters, I want to knock you down, and I don't want to play neutral. You know what I'm saying? I want to be dishonest. I want to knock you down, and I want to rob you, right? So for me, this got me really hyped. Zato is my main in Guilty Gear Xrd and one of my favorite fighting game characters. And I also enjoy playing Millia as well. So this kind of answers a question of how is Zato going to play? How is Millia going to play? And so while, we aren't getting full gameplay presentations of the characters here, we do at least get to see a first look at them. And so I just want to run through the trailer here with you guys, take a look at some stuff with you, and point out some things that I noticed, things that I like, and some speculation. So let's get into it. Let's check it out. Alright, so first things first, redesign. So Millia looks amazing. The first thing I thought when I saw her is I was like, you know what? She looks like Cullen from Street Fighter V. That was like the first thing that popped in my head. And I know I'm not the only one that thought that. That's like the first thing I thought of. Yeah, she's got this this dope looking jacket, in classic Guilty Gear fashions, got some belts and accessories and stuff on it. Still got the license plate on her forehead, which is which I always thought was a pretty dope aesthetic. Like, who would have actually thought to put a license plate on your outfit and actually pull it off? So let's look at her gameplay. Okay, so jump K, that's the first normal coming out of her here. That's her jump K. Very similar to the jump K that she's always had. We haven't actually seen any characters show much air mobility or combo potential until now. So this is the first time we've really seen this. And so it looks like she did a full air combo without actually using dust, which is cool because so far we haven't seen any characters showcase this at all. And I haven't even seen any characters so much as jump cancel at all, right? And so I was under the impression that you couldn't actually jump cancel normals. I'd never seen anyone do it, but it looks like she did. She did jump K. This is a completely new normal right here, but I'm gonna assume that this is, unless it's something specific that allows her to double jump with, I would assume that this would be like her jump slash, but it could really be anything. You don't know. With how slow it is, maybe it's like a dust, or it could be a special move that allows her to double jump, because it would be weird to me if she was the only one that could double jump. Well, no, I guess it is possible that she could be the only one that could double jump, considering that she's always had additional air options, like 2 air dashes that she could do before touching the ground. So we'll see. And then jump cancel, and then I'm assuming this is like her jump heavy. It's really similar to the animation of her jump heavy in plus R. So possibly. And then this and then this right here. So the thing is, this move actually is the exact same animation as her jump heavy in Xrd, but it's not as gigantic. It's not this gigantic blade underneath her that she can just throw out in neutral that annoys everybody and pisses everyone off. So now it looks like she's got this flail. So it's like her body's doing the same animation, but what her actual hair is doing that she's attacking you with is actually different. It's like a flail there. So maybe that could be her jump heavy and the other is her jump slash. Obviously we don't know what each particular normal is when the animations have been changed, but yeah, nice jump combo. And then I'm assuming that this is some kind of a new special move, or it could be her jump dust. Unsure, obviously, but at least seems like she has some kind of a special move that allows her some additional air mobility, which is definitely Millia. When you think of Millia, you think of Okizeme, and you think of movement options. And so as you can see, she's designed here with that in mind. And then you could tell she could get even an additional combo off that. So she gets a complete pickup in the air to bring them higher up. So Millia showing off that characters do have air combos, at least in this game. Very fast run speed, classic Millia run animation. Ooh, snap that little girl's neck, just like an assassin would do. Little hair flip, acting all sassy. I'm gonna assume this button here is a 2 heavy slash. You can see that it counter hit. It's not dust because it didn't like take them up into the air or knock them away, so it can't be dust. So this is probably her new 2H, kind of similar to her launcher that she's always used, but the animation is a bit different. So probably good as an anti-air, maybe a launcher for combos. After the 2H lands counter hit, it pops them up. I'm thinking this is a new like command normal or something that she can do, I'm assuming. She does 1 cartwheel kick, and then there's a follow-up right there. So I'm assuming this is like a 2-hit command normal, maybe, I'm thinking. And then she cancels it into her tandem top, and it causes a wall splat. Ooh, footsies. This is also a new button with Millia, so forward run. Soul goes to do gun flame, gets counter hit by this button here, and then it is chained into her sweep, which her sweep animation looks really cool. She's got this like gross ass looking crow foot at the bottom of the wing. Pretty dope. She gets a knockdown, but this is where you know, you get classic Millia schmicks. Look at that, beautiful. Ooh, what side am I on? Hold that. So this was exciting for me to see. If you saw my reaction, my actual reaction video, I got hype when I saw that because I was so used to there being like no Oki that I was like, oh, how is Millia gonna play? But knockdown into sweep, cancels into tandem top. So the tandem top essentially puts them in pressure, and so she dashes, air dashes to the other side. And as you could tell here, what she could do is if you get to factoring in stuff like the Roman cancel drift and stuff like that, this could get really nasty. Because right here, instead of air dashing there, she could land and go low. She could probably land and go high. She could air dash to the other side like she did here. But at this current situation, what she could do is you could use the Roman cancel drift, and she could actually Roman cancel and then drift back to the original side. So I think when people start factoring in the Roman cancels as well, Millia mix-ups on wake-ups should actually be pretty unforgiving. Pretty Millia, I guess, what you could say. And then it looks like Millia has a fast fall, which she does have a fast fall move, but it's more of a, she falls very quickly diagonally. It's not like a straight down fall. But in this game, she's got a straight down fast fall and then get an easy pickup. And then this looks like it's the animation for her super, her only reversal. I forget the actual name of the super, where she basically grows angel wings on her hair and then flies up and then down. Looks like that's what that is for. Now it's time for the boy, the homie, the puppet character, Zato. So Zato, he obviously like looks very similar to how he has always looked. He just has some extra accessories like a brown belt around his shoulders and waist. But other than that, pretty much the same. You can see that he's got somebody from the Assassin's Guild. He's got his goons behind him. You know what I'm saying? And it's got the Assassin's Guild symbol on their face. They only really they appear in like the story mode and stuff like that. But it's kind of cool to see in his intro he just got his goons behind him. And can we talk about how Eddie looks? Like Eddie looks crazy. Like we've never seen him. I mean, granted, Eddie's look was changed quite a bit from XX to Xrd. In XX, you'll notice that he was very more like this gothic goblin looking thing, right? And then Xrd made him into much more of this like anime cute looking character that used a lot of like shark moves, right? And so this one kind of takes it a step further, and now he looks like this creepy horror like cartoony look, and I like it. I'm a fan of it. I think it's really cool. Zato-1. So it starts off with Drunkard Shade, which is a special move with Zato that reflects projectiles, and in Xrd it's also throw invulnerable, so it can be used to bait people mashing wake up throw, which isn't really relevant in this game, and it may not even have that property. Look at his face though. Look at the face on Eddie. He's so adorable. He looks so happy. So you can tell that as soon as this starts, Eddie's already doing something. So we can see that Eddie looks like he may get multiple actions, not just one, because I was wondering that. And you can see that, you can tell here that Eddie down here is actually moving. This move that Zato is doing up here, Drunkard Shade, this is a Zato move. It does not involve the puppet at all. It might be different in this game, but in other Guilty Gear games, this move that Zato's doing, even though you see Eddie there, doesn't actually involve Eddie. However, Eddie is doing something over here. It looks like he passed through the opponent, right? And then he comes back and does boom, boom. He does a double hit, and then Zato does his 5D, his dust overhead, which is the same animation as it is in Xrd. Cracks him open, and then, wow, Eddie looks super different. So that's Zato getting a knockdown, summoning Eddie, and I'm wondering how Eddie's going to work in this game, because the way that Eddie works in Xrd is that he has an Eddie gauge, and so you summon Eddie and you can control Eddie freely. When you move forward with Zato, Eddie moves forward. When you move back with Zato, Eddie moves backwards. And when you press buttons, Zato doesn't attack, and when you release the buttons, Eddie doesn't attack. And so you have to play in such a way where you hold the buttons down that you press if you don't want Eddie to do anything, and then you release the specific buttons that you want him to do, for those who don't know. And so that's kind of his playstyle, very technical character. Now with this game being a whole lot easier of a game and being much more toned down, I highly, highly doubt that Eddie works in the same way. If you're familiar with Dragon Ball FighterZ, I'm assuming he might play a little bit more to like Nappa with his Cybermen, where you kind of just like, you can basically summon it and tell it what to do, like input commands telling it what to do, and then it will do it independently of you. And that's my assumption as to how Eddie's gonna work in this game. I'm assuming what you can do is you summon Eddie, and I'm assuming you tell Eddie what you want him to do, and then you act as Zato. I could be completely wrong here, but if I had to guess, I'm assuming Zato is summoning him and then telling him to do something. And then Zato doesn't actually have a double jump in Xrd or XX. When you jump in the air as Zato and you attempt to double jump, he actually goes into a fly. However, this looks different in this game. It looks like it's a special move input, because as you can see, Zato doesn't jump. And see, like, he doesn't jump and start flying. He instantly zips to the sky, as if it's some kind of a special move, right? And now he's locked, fixed to that horizontal axis as he flies forward. So it seems like it's some kind of a mode where maybe you input something and he goes into a flight mode, and then you can move forward or backward horizontally. That's how it looks to me. And so my boy Eddie puts up the drills to lock him down. He put up 4 drills to lock him down. That's hella lockdown, while Zato can do whatever he wants. So yeah, as you can see, lockdown characters, Okizeme characters, definitely still alive and well in this Guilty Gear. So I'm happy, and I will definitely be maining this character. Goes for the overhead, probably a jump kick, and then it looks like he cancels it into some kind of an air special. And yet, Eddie's still progressing, so it's not like Eddie disappears after that move that he did. Eddie's still progressing. Like, it's crazy. So, I'm really curious as to how this works. Yo, can we talk about my boy Zato surfing, though? His forward run, my man's literally has a darkness surfboard. Like, yo, that's wild. So, so his forward run actually shows him surfing. And this move right here, I'm unsure of if Zato is forced to actually do this little taunt here, if that's part of the counter. I don't know, though. I think that might actually just be Zato's taunt or his respect, because it's very similar to the taunts and respects that he does in previous titles. And I think that he just might, just for shits and giggles, I think he might just be inputting it at the same time that he's commanding Eddie to input his counter. So Eddie has this counter here where he blocks an attack. Even though the attack is going through Eddie and hitting Zato, it doesn't count. Zato's completely blocking it. And then it counterattacks. And it looks like he can definitely get a combo off of it. That looks really good. Like, in a footsie-based game, you imagine that Soul just tries to do a Fafnir, and then he hits Eddie, and then just gets counter hit? That's so sick. does a bunch of snakes. And then this grab here looks very similar to his command grab called Damned Fang. But it might just be his normal throw in this game. We don't really know, because normal throws go into a cinematic very similar to this. So it's unsure. And it has a bunch of sharks tearing him up. So as you can see, Zato's still using a bunch of sharks. And then it looks like here, I can't tell if that's a super or just his win animation, but it looks more like a win animation to me right there, I'm assuming. Yep, and then I haven't discussed it on my channel before, but yeah, the closed beta test is open. I believe it's going to start mid-April, and they confirmed that we're getting rollback netcode, which should really improve the online experience for Guilty Gear, which was highly requested. So Arxis is hella listening when it comes to the fans right now. Hella listening, and it's like super appreciated. So we have Okizeme characters. We have all the classic Guilty Gear characters in the game now. The only classic character we're missing is Cliff, and I gotta keep it real, I don't really care about about Cliff. I mean, if he gets put in the game, cool, but I feel like there's so many other characters higher on that priority list than he is. But yeah, it is still really nice to see the Assassin's Guild Okizeme characters alive and well in the game. And yeah, my assumption here is that Millia mix-ups are still in the game. I just don't think that they're going to be loopable. Maybe people will find some tech as to otherwise, but based on the interviews that we've seen, they've said that their main goal is they don't want to make Okizeme loopable to where you just don't get to play. Or they also mentioned that they want you to at least be able to see the mix-ups that are happening and understand what's going on, right? Because oftentimes you may get hit with an unreactable mix-up that you couldn't see because there's just so much shit on the screen, and I think that's something they want to get away from. But at the same time, even though they said that, like, I mean, there's definitely going to be a degree to what the fuck is happening when something like this happens. Like, how is this any different than what he was doing before? Like, you're going to be confused if you're a new player and a Zato player just starts doing this shit to you. Like, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Like, how do I deal with this? So, it's... so I can't tell if Arxis was just like, you know what? You know, we want to make this game cater to beginners, but at the same time, we have to cater to our fans that you know, that love the series. We'll see. But my assumption, like I said, is that it's just not loopable, unreactable, or legit 50-50s. They're probably going to balance it out a little bit more, tone it down a little bit more. And in terms of execution, I don't see Zato being a negative edging puppet character as he was. I think maybe he probably will still have an Eddie gauge, probably. He probably still will, because Eddie still remains on the screen in all of these. I don't see Eddie disappear after just one interaction. He seems to be, like all these clips change around a lot, but he seems to remain there for quite some time. So we'll see. We'll see how it works. Maybe he has a dedicated button so that you don't have to choose between Zato buttons and Eddie buttons, possibly. That could be a possibility, right? But I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. And as far as Millia goes, Millia is showing her mobility and potential for air combos and air juggles as well, which is really exciting. So this is probably one of the most exciting trailers that I've seen so far. So I'm super hyped, and hopefully I can get into the beta, which these two won't be in, unfortunately, but that's fine. I don't care. As long as I get to play some Guilty Gear, then I'll be happy with that. So. But let me know what you guys think about these two new characters. Were they characters that you were excited to see? How do you think that Eddie will play in this game? And if you have any comments for me, leave them down in the comment section below, and like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.